And his body retcons turns back into the Eighth Doctor.
Actually, you didn't see Baker turn into McCoy. You only saw Baker go into the TARDIS, and then McCoy comes out in the next season. So we actually don't know what happened in between, to be honest with you.
Well,
I just saw the the opening 15 episode. We're back here again, the Essential Crew, and we're in a different space because the green screen wasn't working for us. So
that's very honest. It wasn't an artistic decision. The green screen just didn't.
Hey, you know what? Nobody actually said what they thought about the cartoon.
Did it just keep changing?
The cartoon looked great.
I don't know. It was great. I have no clue as to what the black bubbles were.
It looked like a giant bedspread in the background. Yeah. Someone had
Yeah, but the cartoon effect. So let's get back to why we're here today. So what's happening today is that there's been 2 major bombs dropped just in the past week. And
can I say 3?
Yeah.
3?
Yeah, the third one. Boatman's 37.
Really? Well, that's part of one of the bombs, and I got something to say about both.
The lad looks about 22.
Yeah, no, exactly. But 2 major bombs, and even though we usually talk about comics and bringing what's in our bag, this is comics, because comics have changed into not just digital comics, but now they're movies.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was a perfect conversation.
In fact, they're bigger as movies than they ever will be as comics.
It's feasible to think that 50% of the audience who go to cinema to see them have never picked up a comic.
No.
No.
I would say
it's because it won't even relate.
Let's just sort of
especially not because it's Fantastic Four.
Really important defensive moment, because we're going to be focusing an awful lot on one of the companies, but on the other hand, there's the other company who are killing it so much on the TV.
Who said we're going to focus on the other company? Because I actually live stream, so I am so far ahead. I just watched Flash Forward this week.
Do you know what? I am going to be watching it shortly. I want to talk about it so much.
It is so awesome. I swear. You
so
guys are so far behind. I'm on Gotham 6.
I'm on Gotham 3.
Oh man. The Penguin. Yeah. Oh, look at that. I get it. All right. One at a time. Yes. One at a time.
So Gotham 3, when they bring the Penguin back at the end, it's like, I thought you were waiting the season to do that. And you brought him back in episode.
The show is about the Penguin. It's about his show, but it's also about the Riddler, who is fantastic.
Yeah,
but it is fantastic. You have to watch every episode.
What I am liking about it is just the little heartness. There's no focus on it, but it's just the little nods to Bruce Wayne and kind of like when James Gordon first
that kid's
and he's standing up on there and he's thinking he's trying to jump and he's like, no, I'm trying to conquer my fear. That one just went.
Yeah. Flame, but also Catwoman comes for visit.
This is the one thing I have a little bit of a problem with, and it's purely canon. It is just the fact that having Selena kind of witnessing the whole Wayne.
It's a rewrite.
It's a reimagining.
I get it. It's a rewrite.
It's needed just to.
But it's also done so well and cleverly, because like I just said, in the upcoming episode, she sees him but he doesn't see her. So it's kind of like to inspire that. What is that relationship going to be about?
Yeah, and it's a metaphor for how it eventually will be coming.
Why him? Why he's so interesting? And all that.
One thing that I'm really concerned about is, can they keep? I mean, without it just turning into a normal procedural, because they don't want to go into superpowers. They don't want to try and do that with this. Can it keep it doing? Or is the best structure going to be kind of like, okay, 2 seasons, Bruce Wayne as like a kid, then jump like 6 years, and then seeing Gotham even worse.
But we've seen Bruce as a teenager in Batman Begins.
Yeah. But listen, I'm sorry. Let's go back to remember you. It was you. No. It's first episode when you talked about how it's going to be different Jokers. Who was it? Was it you?
Yes, they said there were going to be different Jokers.
But wasn't that scene in the first episode where she chastises the comedian?
Yeah.
Say you're a comedian. And then that's when she beats the Penguin down and he reacts to it and stuff like that. And it made me instantly think about, when one of you brought it up. Who brought it up?
Yeah, I brought that.
Yeah, you brought it up. That I thought awesome. Now that doesn't make him the Joker, but it could allude to what you implied that it was going to be different Jokers throughout.
Do you know what I think would have improved that? If Jada Pinkett Smith could act. If she could act, it'd make the show a lot better.
You know,
She's terrible. She's one note. The only person
Oh.
in the show that's worse than her is Montoya.
Yeah.
These two actors cannot act.
Well.
I don't know Will Smith is the most powerful Scientologist on the planet.
I like
a sense
Jada.
of religion now, but Jada Pinkett Smith is terrible.
I like Jada for whatever.
I like Jada. I liked it in Ali. I thought she played.
Sorry.
My other thing, I'm not.
Can you paraphrase Davis, really?
They shouldn't have made his partner. Oh, what's his name? They shouldn't have made his
Bullock?
Yeah, they shouldn't have made it Bullock. They should have had it Flask. It should have been Flask.
Oh, right.
Because Bullock is
Bullock is later, but I like Bullock as a character. You know, he's not really dirty. He's dirty enough to get the job done. Whereas he is more Flask than he is Bullock. If you remember,
I don't know Flask.
Year one. If you year one when Gordon first comes up, he's partnered with this ex guy who's trying to get Gordon to take bribes and get into the criminal thing, and he kicks the living crap out of him.
But he'll probably appear because if he was year one, he'll probably appear later.
Yeah, but I just think that the character would have been better for being Flask than Bullock. I just have a bit of a sentimental side for it.
Actually, in episode 6, Bullock shows a little bit more of an origin, which is really interesting.
Can I just throw in an argument that people don't like? Yeah. If this was just a police procedural show, and it didn't have all the nods to what's going to happen, it'd be terrible.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Because the police procedural side of it's rubbish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's off the piece.
How did you know he was the killer? He had my name in his box and I gave it to him earlier in the episode.
Well, yeah,
why would it be the same guy? That's just ridiculous. There's no motive.
Yeah, it's off the piece. I think it's the little things that make the whole.
It's the little things. It's the fact that if you think of it, the police procedural thing, Jim Gordon's story is over there somewhere. It is the Penguin story. It's not Fish Mooney's because she's rubbish.
Do you know, Ain't It Cool News, Moriarty, who writes on Ain't It Cool News, he said, tying in with your theory about the Joker. Could be
I think it was probably there.
Well, I mean, what you brought up. Is that what he said? He liked the idea that the makeup, so if you weren't that familiar with Batman lore, the makeup on the Penguin is kind of Jokerish. So that seed of doubt is like...
It's a nose, because my wife looks at him and
it's the doubt, like people say, it's questioning it. Alright, he's not the Joker, but it's enough to make you think...
One thing I do like about the Penguin about him is how cunning and conniving
he is.
He's very
Machiavellian.
Exactly. It's kind of like the way that he got fired, and I'm only on episode, on UK television, the way that he got fired and then instantly just worked his way into that Mahoney building and instantly it
gets better. I mean, the whole arc of the Penguin is just like amazing. I mean, and everything, and it comes to a head in episode 6 anyway. But like the thing about it is that back to the procedural thing, it's perfect in the sense where there are those fans who were into year one, there are those fans who are into Gotham. What is it?
GPCD.
Yeah, those books and all of that. So it's a good way for us to see the city. To have these comps, one kind of dirty, one good, going through the city. My confusion is, and I mean, if you're only like 3 episodes in, you probably have the same confusion, is what is the deal with Barbara? Now, turns out that...
I'm not vaguely confused about the deal with Barbara.
No. Okay, let me point out something.
I just want to know if Gordon knows that she had a relationship with Montoya.
That interests me.
But this is the point. That Montoya thing came out when she became the question, and that's later canon. But Barbara Keane, right?
As opposed to Barbara Kane, who's Batwoman.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say. Is that because in the cast notes, there's supposed to be a Betsy Kane that's supposed to be doing 17 episodes, and she hasn't shown up yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So. And because Barbara, Keane, Batwoman, was around in the 40s, are they going to change it that there was an original Batwoman, Batgirl that inspired Bruce to become Batman?
Yeah,
because Montoya, what Montoya is alluding to, not just their sexual relationship, but that there's something else. Now, remember, if Montoya becomes the question, that means she's not going to Nanda Parbat and all of that other kind of stuff. and because DC, even though this is kind of like set
But
before,
I was going to say,
before
Montoya
Arrow,
is completely out of continuity now. She's way out of continuity.
Yeah, but
Montoya is here after Batman,
Yeah.
and where's Batman?
Yeah.
Now Montoya is here.
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
a
but
completely
also
different
the partner, Crispin Allen, is supposed to be the Spectre.
Perspective, but
So,
that didn't happen until way
Hold
after
on.
Batman came in.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Her partner hasn't been named yet.
yeah, he is.
No, yeah.
Yeah, Crispin Allen. Yeah, he's the
Yeah,
Spectre.
didn't you?
No.
Yeah.
Why you just thought he's that black guy?
The Spectre's Jim Corrigan.
The original Spectre is Jim.
I don't
Corrigan.
care about any other Spectre. The Spectre is Jim
All
Corrigan.
right. But
No
GCPD,
Spectre, especially not Hal Jordan.
Yeah, but this is what they do. They take all of the stuff, they put all these post-it notes on the board, and they figure out how we're going to just crush it.
Can I use
Time.
this to lead on to the first of the major news things then? Because this is where I'm panicking a little bit with.
Yeah.
There you go.
When the way the DC are building up these universes at the moment on TV, which are doing so well, the Flash, Green Arrow, I love that world they're building.
The Flash
And
is brilliant.
yeah.
First episode of Flash, fantastic.
And all that, and then with their movie slates, and they're just going to go.
And they've announced the new Flash.
They've announced a new Flash, and it's just kind of
Oh.
like, why waste
Why have a
everything?
Flash for the movies?
All right, well, wait a minute. Hold on. Are you going to say what I think you're going to say?
I said,
What about John Romita's comment?
What did he say?
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I mean, that would.
Earth 1 is the movie universe, and Earth 2 is the TV universe. And because DC mastered the whole parallel universes, what they can easily do is actually combine by having a crossover. And so John Romita said there is still a chance that Stephen Amell, as the Arrow, could be Justice League.
But the thing, I mean, that's great. I'm all for
Please.
that. That would all work. Like,
And in the Flash,
the new Flash, the guy who plays the Flash.
I love him. But wait a minute. Last moment in Flash 1, when Harrison Wells, who we know is going to be Professor Zoom, says,
See, I didn't
he
know
reads
you
the
were
article
going to
that
make-
says crisis. He reads the article.
Yeah, disappears in crisis, yeah.
Bang, 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 bang.
2020
So-
crisis.
So if they cross the one
Crossing the universe.
cinematic,
I mean, that is all great, but I don't like parallel universes.
Well,
but DC is the only. DC. That's how DC kicks ass on Marvel, though.
The reason they can do that is because DC have these 14-volume long series that take a year to explain. Try doing. I have sat with my wife and tried to explain parallel universes to her, and it has never worked. I have been sat there into 2 hours in a 2-hour gap to get this entire thing.
It's not like doing Twin City for Back to the Future.
It's about the building up of it, sort of like the setting everything up, and I have no faith.
It is
so happy about
Well, because you've only seen that.
I have the answer. The easy way to explain parallel universes to anybody, and the way that the public will easily accept the idea of parallel universe in a film, sliding doors.
Oh right, yeah, that's true. But I'm particularly excited.
It's the idiot's guide. Sorry,
I'm excited.
It's the idiot's guide.
I'm excited.
My life with it because of parallel.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I've said that 5 times now. I think.
Okay, why are you excited?
Let's
Well, I think the parallel thing, opens the opportunity for Adam West to play Batman again. I think.
Well, no. That's not really excited. I mean.
Of course, I was joking.
First of all, John Romita is a top artist, right? And when we're talking about DC kicking butt on television, which they are, because they've already got 22 episode commitment. They'll have a second season pretty soon commitment. Why start these universes so late? Meaning that, when Dawn of Justice is actually going to come out, will be another two so years. So why already hire actors now, like Cyborg and Flash? Like I said,
I've got a question. Why cast Cyborg? He's rubbish.
Because
he's a terrible character.
He's an 80s character.
Yeah.
That is true.
He was great in Teen Titans, but
wait a minute. Did you also hear though that they are working on the Teen Titans TV show and the Legion of Superheroes TV show?
Excellent.
Did you hear that?
I didn't.
Well, any confirmation?
I know about Krypton. Do you know that?
Yes, Krypton's next. Yeah.
It's going to be about Jor-El when he was.
Goya's.
No. Who's doing it? Goya?
Bring Russell Crowe watched.
Russell was fantastic, and Krypton and Man of Steel was fantastic, but.
I'll be more interested
because they've already got rid of the factor that Supergirl came out of the pod and created the Amazons on Paradise Island. They've already expelled that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And which would have been perfect actually.
It's interesting.
But then they said no, we're not going to do that.
The situation of things now is a complete reverse of what was like in the 70s and 80s when Marvel had the monopoly on TV, cartoons, animation, and DC were casting big stars and big commercial films. It seems to have switched. I always thought Marvel was more commercial for the cinematic than DC, which was a bit more insular.
Well, but let's look at since we are on television, right? I'm talking about television stuff. Let's look at has Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. improved? I think it has.
I couldn't be bothered watching it.
The
first I missed stuff, you know what?
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. But it was kind of like the very first episode.
No, I'm not talking about that.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm building up to it.
Okay.
I just couldn't be bothered with it, and then I gave it a few shows, and then I got into it, and then I started seeing the characters evolve, and then they put in that little where does Sky come from? Where it kicked into overflow for us was when Captain America 2 came out, and the way that impact had it on there, and it was that. And now I am
have killed Jessica Hand, though.
I am so into it. It's sort of like, I was gutted that I missed the first episode. And kind of like,
But Zombie Man, the effects was amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
The thing with the new season, I started watching the first season. I thought the first episode, the one that Whedon wrote, was good. The second was poor. The third was appalling. I gave up. So I started watching it the other night. I saw about the first 10 minutes. I was just sitting there thinking, they're just saying words and none of them mean anything. These people are just saying words. None of these words have anything to do with plot or storyline or anything. They're not even sentences. Most of this isn't English. These are just random words. This is a fridge magnet. The script is being constructed from fridge magnets. We don't like that. There you go, lads. Just say that. It doesn't mean anything. It's okay. Say it.
You know that they had a kind of like a thing of going, right, okay, this is going to be happening around this time for this episode. This is going to be happening around this time for this episode. This is what we want the season finale. With the rest of it.
Well. I'm ahead, right? And I will tell you who Sky is.
No, is it Spider-Woman?
No. We saw the Marvel slate. That's one of the reasons why we're talking today.
I'm not even entirely sure who Sky is in the first place.
The whole point it was the Secret of Sky. And so you saw the whole Marvel slate, and you know how successful they were with Guardians of the Galaxy. And what's the next new team movie they're bringing out?
Inhumans?
Well, I mean, the next team movie is actually Avengers.
No, you know
brand new.
Yes. It's the Inhumans.
So Sky's dead, isn't he?
Sky's an Inhuman.
I think.
Yeah, I think that's where they go.
So she's just not an alien, as we were led to believe. She's just not a Kree baby half-breed, but she'll be an Inhuman or a daughter.
Is this going to be something to do with the obelisk?
That's the whole thing. Is the whole MacGuffin is the obelisk and everything. But her dad is now showing up, which is played by Kyle MacLachlan. And evil.
Does he get where can't find coffee anywhere?
Yeah, evil as evil does. And so I mean that's what they're building to. So like when you said about how they are positioning the S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes, it'll be positioned around to the factor that hey, look, we've already announced now that the Inhumans is coming, and now
it's an Inhuman for you.
How
it is before.
Get ready.
And also you know the Avengers because they're going to retcon both in the film and in the comics. Apparently they're going to retcon Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver as being children of the high evolutionary realm. Therefore, they are not mutants. They've been affected by the Terrigen Mist, which is why I was asking that big grey building, the big sort of castle thing. It's Wondergore, isn't it? They're Wondergore now.
Well, you said it was twice.
I've seen it.
It's there.
You've seen it, didn't you?
It's like almost next door, police box.
Is there already? We don't even have them in England.
Why would there be a police box in Times Square? That's what you'd have to ask.
All right,
There
man.
should
I
be
don't know.
It would be quite entertaining, kind of like sort of a sort of like David Capaldi just comes out.
David Capaldi.
I love how I always make these mistakes and everybody does it.
Jenna Coleman walks out.
Oh, you could have have just stole the Infinity Gauntlet and had off with it.
Well, now to think about this whole Infinity Gauntlet, man, because when they brought out Josh Brolin and everything like that, and then you're thinking like, well, shoot, he's not even going to be in the movie until like 3 or 4 years from now. How do you know people going to live that long? You know, it's kind of like making you start to feel mortal when they
Jesus, you're cheerful.
I tell you
Well,
what.
I'm just saying. I want to live that long.
We've got Barack Obama, massive comic book fan. We've got people all over the world, massive comic book fans. This lineup has made world peace because all these comic book fans are going to be like, no, the world cannot end until
You can't.
I'm sorry. We should stop now. Because James has just won. That's the whole audience should know that.
Because by Marvel's film slate.
What Superman couldn't achieve in Superman 4 with Nuclear Man?
Kevin
Feige has achieved.
Has achieved.
He's united the world.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he has. But so let's go to the Marvel slate then. I mean, like, you know. Oh, wait. Before we do that, last thing on Marvel with television is Netflix. And how come they're not really talking that much about it? Because I saw the Comic-Con with Daredevil panel, which looks amazing because we got, who is the big guy playing Kingpin?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Perfect casting. He came out with the bald head and everything. And exactly. And so that looks like it's going to be good. I haven't seen the costume, but I think I saw some leak of the costume where it looked like Rex Smith's Daredevil from the Hulk. Does it look like that? Please tell me that's just like the first version of the costume.
It's going to be for about 5 episodes. It's in place of the yellow and maroon one.
I know, I get it, man.
I know.
So what they're saying,
wait.
So what they're saying is they would rather you have the Rex Smith Daredevil from Incredible Hulk. You know?
I'll be honest. I didn't think it was that bad because all they were trying to do in that Incredible Hulk movie was trying to make him kind of a ninja, a blind ninja. I've seen blind.
Obviously he's blind because he's got no eyes.
Well, that's it, because he's got no aisles. It kind of gives away the
Exactly. That's about it, though.
But Daredevil's getting his sight back.
Is he?
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It was Bleeding Cool last week, or Comic Book Resources last week. The big twist for Daredevil in the next year is he's getting his sight back.
That's fantastic.
And it's going
That
to
don't
go off
happen in the
completely.
comics.
No, it's happening in the comics. It's happening in the comics.
Oh, it's happening in the comics,
I
but
mean,
not.
It's I mean, to be fair,
For a year, then it
he's
was like,
lived. He's lived in a world where they can build massive fucking Iron Man outfits. You've got a massive green thing that irradiates things and causes other green things to
But
sprout.
they can't
But they
fix
can't fix his eyes.
Hey,
Okay, he caused the turtles. You know, it's
Exactly. Did they
I
carry
can see
that through to the Turtles film though, with the aliens in the end?
But here was my point about the Netflix is that. So Feige said that, it was Jeff Loeb who said that. Don't ask us and don't believe any of the rumors because we haven't even casted Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and everything. But those will be coming. Now, because we know that they already are supposed to be shooting them in these binge blips, that the Defenders is supposed to start next year. Mm-hmm. So let's look at the timelines that they're invented, right?
You've got a year.
Right? So if I'm talking about Avengers Infinity War. Everybody's talking about, Guardians will be in it, and
Can I just make a real special hark out to Guardians of the Galaxy? It's just a hark out to Guardians of the Galaxy. It was
fantastic.
Amazing.
Shakespeare.
It was.
How the duck looked appalling.
That was so.
You just made me cough up a feather.
Dancing. I was just saying go back onto the movie slate. We got Captain America. The first one that was on it was Captain America.
Oh wait! I was saying about the Defenders.
Yes.
About the fact that with Infinity War coming about 4 years?
2018.
So 4 years from now.
Part 1 and 2.
Yeah, I know, but when I'm
2019.
My point is that because when Infinity War comes, right, that the Defenders would have been out for 2 years. Mm-hmm. They don't know what the Defenders are going to look like, so they're not even talking about it. But they will probably have a plan for the Avengers.
And the
Infinity
War is not going to be a small thing. I think that's right. I mean, we can talk. There's the Spider-Man kind of news, which is so exciting. Unbelievable.
It's not news.
It's not news, and it's not exciting because it's all
they're
rumor.
talking.
It's all rumor.
No, but he wouldn't deny it, is the main point.
It would make so much money for Sony and them just to have those two properties together. It would be poor business sense for them to let their pride get in the way of doing this. In Spider-Man,
I don't think it's pride. I think the only pride you're talking about is Avi Arad's pride. Marvel Films Entertainment when it had to split, and so he went to Fox because they took him on board.
Well, it's Avi Arad.
And you gotta admit though, that was like being kicked to the curb, really.
Oh, definitely.
So.
Well, I mean,
not Marvel's pride.
I think Marvel are brilliant at giving the public what they want, and I think I've said it on Facebook. A Marvel superhero team-up movie without...
Right, okay, here we go.
It's like the Rolling Stones without Mick Jagger.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is!
No, it's not.
Don't make him an Avenger.
No,
have him in the same film, but exploit that, why he can't become an Avenger, why he will never become an Avenger, because it's all about him.
Right, okay.
The one thing is he should be in the Fantastic Four.
So I'm going to. This is why I think that Spider-Man should be in the Avengers, and because he is your every person's viewpoint into the Avengers.
Yeah.
When I read Spider-Man, when I first picked up Spider-Man, I started reading the Avengers because of him. Because I didn't relate to Captain America or Thor or the Incredible Hulk or anything like that. I didn't even relate to their alter egos because really they were dwarfed by their companion. Spider-Man, I had an affinity with him. When he went into the Avengers, he was like, wow, Cap, say it. And it was this excitement, it was this thrill to be in the Avengers.
Yeah.
And it was my gateway into it. And for all those kids that have that affinity to Spider-Man, when they go into it, if they do it right, and this is why I'm saying Andrew Garfield would get the personality right, of being that excited, little jumped up, nerdy kid, kind of like, oh my god, I'm fighting.
Saying the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly. And it's that amazing. And it's the same thing as the way that I hope that they do the Flash in the Justice League, because in the Justice League movies they do have Barry Allen, the new Barry Allen anyway, kind of a lot more kind of like, wow,
I think
who are these people?
I think you're absolutely right. I think Spider-Man does speak to the underdog in the audience.
Yeah, and
it's that.
Which is why he should never be the character that defeats Thanos.
Oh no, totally. I don't.
No. I think he went a little bit beyond expectations when you said that he could be the one who beats like Thanos and Galactus.
Well,
the whole thing.
It wasn't so much cause.
Here's my point with that. Sorry, is that. I made the point that the villains in Spider-Man's comics are metaphors for bullies and things like that. I'm looking at it purely. My gateway into comics was as a Spider-Man fan first of all, and then I read other comics. So I feel sort of proprietorial towards him and protective, if you know what I mean. So I mean, from my point of view, and it's purely personal. Oh yeah, I've got a Spider-Man badge on there.
I've got Spider-Man. Where do we go and see it?
Mickey Mouse because Disney. Anyway, but yeah, I think that the metaphor is that. He's taken on the people who've, been hard to him throughout his life, which Thanos encapsulates. And it's my opinion that it should be Spider-Man who defeats it. That ordinary person who, by a twist of fate,
that's only thing that never happened in the Infinity Gauntlet.
This is my quick thing about that. I don't think it should be one individual that beats Thanos. I think what it should be is every single person working together and bringing their strengths to it, and that's what gets my. So Spider-Man, he's a smart intellectual. Him, Tony Stark, Bruce Banner going away and just thinking of something, and just one of their little sparks going on. Captain America arranging the team. Scott, all these characters using their strength to build that final plan that takes down Thanos, and it should work on it. Doesn't matter who gets the killing punch in. It should be it should just be whoever is needed for the plan to work.
I'll go further. It does matter who gets the killing punch in. It should be Adam Warlock.
Well, Adam, I think will show up in Guardians 2 anyway. But the thing about it is, let's get back to reality. Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos defeats himself because he's got fucking 5-6 gems, right? So the whole point about it is that I agree that Spider-Man should be in it. I agree that he should enter the Marvel Universe. Now, the thing I would want to say about Part 1 and Part 2, and nobody's picked up on yet, right? The cleverness of it. It's a year apart, right? Mm-hmm. So, actually, what I think is it's going to be a spool effect. meaning that they're going to have part one, right? And then the way the comics goes, right? They do a year-long, thing in the comics where there's like this big bag come in and everybody splits off. So then we'll go into the movies of that year, and
which
Thanos will, and Thanos will be on the TV as well. That, and they will have their own individual battles, and then they'll come back for part two.
Kind of like a survival thing of the stories of each person,
Yeah, but that's what they do in the comics. So what do you think about that? I mean, that's my
I think that would work. I've always said that.
That like because of the forward planning that they announced this whole big slate, it's perfect for the way comics are in the sense where they would redoing that. You know what I mean? I mean that just sounds. And if they did that, that would be amazing.
That would be fantastic. We've got the nouns to do it. I want to backtrack a minute. I want to go back to the Spider-Man point because I have a PhD thesis in waiting on this one.
Alright, let me buckle myself in first.
You're thinking of Spider-Man as fighting against the bullies. But what you've got to think of, and ultimately Galactus and Thanos are the biggest bullies in the universe. But what you've got to think of is the two creators involved. We're not talking Stan because Stan just did the words. So, Spider-Man, who has got to represent Steve Ditko's take on the world, which means the lowly individual fighting against the system and fighting against anybody who represents the system or is bucking against the system is a lowly individual because Ditko is, and I've never read any of his stuff, but Ditko is an Ayn Rand disciple.
Yeah,
and he's highly respected. So he has a very, very Republican sense of values. Yeah. He is very much in that right-wing philosophy, as far as I'm aware. So that's the individual against the system. Jack Kirby is more interested in the battle of humanity versus gods. So Thanos and Galactus represent gods. You should not have the individual fight against gods. Superpowered people against gods. The individual who's Spider-Man can only fight against other individuals or organisations. He has to get bound.
That's
so
the Batman.
Well, that is big. Your science lesson for
no, Batman was
that was the Batman. That's the Batman argument. You can't have a human
going up
against the guy. Oh well, so you can't ever have him fighting Superman. You can't ever have him outwitting. Darkseid.
You can have Batman because Batman was reinvented by Grant Morrison when he took over Justice League as the guy was. And that is his function within Justice League, the guy.
But it's actually how to argue it's Spider-Man is still that human. He's still that human element that goes.
But Batman isn't us.
Because Batman's the rich, he had all the toys.
Yeah, Batman's got all the toys.
I tell you, they should just have Daredevil appear at the end, slice Thanos off, going, I'm keeping it, and then go off with death.
Let's
what do you think?
Let's segue into
Black Panther. Let's talk about
can I say something about Black Panther?
No, go on.
Of course you can.
A friend of mine, right, who was the producer and everything, told me this yesterday, and I just wanted to know if anybody else picked up on it. He told me that Chadwick Boseman, who signed a 7-picture deal, five-picture deal, is only getting paid like the equivalent of $100,000 per film, where Robert Downey gets paid $750 million.
Nah, I don't.
I'm just saying, he's getting paid very little for a character that the audience has been clamoring for the past 5 years.
I can't believe that they do that. I can't believe equity would allow it for a start.
Oh, yeah, but he's not proven though.
No, but no one's going to
earn. No
one's going to earn what Downey earns, obviously.
Well, obviously,
from an actor's point of view, use that as a negotiating tool if you want to get into a big franchise.
Yeah.
So I'll take this. I'll take the low because I'll make money.
Yeah.
You're completely off camera. I'm barely on camera.
You interrupted me, though, but
said then he's on a base pay plus scale.
That's right.
See, I like.
Is he on? What's the word? Back end deal. Is he on back end deal?
Well, not scale, so whatever the film makes, he gets a percentage on top.
Well, as I say, it's the opportunity to be in the franchise.
You should be thankful you're in this franchise.
First get paid to be an Iron Man.
That's a good point.
Oh, he got paid very little to be an Iron Man.
Exactly.
He was recruited up
to the salad.
It's
like any normal job. You go into it in your first role, you get paid a certain amount. Once you earns your position in it and you become more invaluable to the job, you can earn more money. It's capitalism. It is the way it's going. I don't think race even falls into the category in any way, shape or form. It is just the way that business is done. And so I don't think everybody has to look at. I don't think Scarlett Johansson is kind of like going to be getting paid the minimum anymore. No. She's going to be getting on.
Oh, I don't know, man. You can't pay
exactly.
her.
But you can't have someone who's just going to
go Tom Hiddleston coming back for Thor 3.
Right, can I just use this to just get it in? Come on, Benedict Cumberbatch is Doctor Strange.
Yes. High five.
I'll do that.
So like.
I won't high five, but I'll say that's a good one.
Yeah, that is absolutely.
That's fantastic.
I'm loving it. I love the fact that.
Even though it's still not exactly
The way I was really worried about it was when you look at kind of like Tony Stark and you look at Doctor Strange, you remove the Iron Man suit, you remove the mystic gowns, they are almost the exact same person and character, you know, alcoholics, successful, brilliant at what they do, arrogant, and they've got to still portray that, but Benedict Cumberbatch will do it in a very different style to the way Robert Downey Jr. has done it. And I think it is an ultimate, and he has that kind of like mystical look.
Well, yeah, he had that angular face.
And have you seen he did an audition clip for being Smaug in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
And there's a video on it, and he's just got the way his neck kind of like, I think he is going to pull some really, you know, when they go into the trippy mysticism stuff, and he's going, I think you're going to see some really good
Have you read, and this isn't, I'm not making this up, this comes from have you really made me play Dormammu?
Yeah. Dormammu, the one with the fiery head.
Those who maybe play them or...
Did I
Vinnie Jones.
No, you're not far off.
What?
Sylvester Stallone.
No.
When I love Stallone. I think we've that one away. No, that's the
like fucking Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
And on that bombshell.
Throwing that bombshell in the phone read.
We've
So-
got Captain Marvel as well.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the thing about this, right, is that... Well, no, I'm just going to say, like, the thing about this is that if you notice what Marvel is doing is like this Avengers now. Remember we had that big argument about the black Captain America and the female Thor, and now what they got is Black Panther and the female Captain Marvel. So it's kind of like this long plan. But I mean, I've never really liked her as Miss Marvel. I thought it was, you know, even as a kid, I didn't really like that. So they're really
She's
jumping
quite
back.
well.
No, well, it was just because they wanted a female Captain Marvel. So with
It wasn't about the
now, I'm just saying the present Captain Marvel looks interesting. I don't read the books, and I know she's a part of the
Do
Guardians.
you know what's even better? Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel was excellent.
Well, have you seen who they're thinking about casting as Miss Marvel?
Katie Sackhoff.
Emily Bluth.
No. Sharon Step said he wanted Emily Bluth, but they're talking about Katie Sackhoff.
I'll watch if she's in it.
Katie Sackhoff.
Don't get me wrong, I love Katie Sackhoff, I think she's awesome.
She's
But
yesterday.
I think Emily Blunt, I mean from
Emily
Edge of
Blunt,
Tomorrow, when I saw her in Edge of Tomorrow and well, she played
she's
it was
fantastic.
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
And she pulls off that
Yeah.
hardcore marine attitude.
I would
And
buy
just
into
think
that.
I buy into it.
Yeah, but Casey Sackhoff is Starbucks.
Yeah,
But that's
Yes,
yesterday. That was
yes,
Starbucks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Starbucks yesterday. I mean, most people know her from the Dream Girl in Big Bang Theory. For how all of us, you know,
Dressed as Starbuck.
I think she played a brilliant Sarah Connor kind of like character, an older person maybe, so like a mentor to Miss Marvel. You know,
Well, you see, there would be two Miss Marvels.
No,
No,
like,
but
just like a
in the
mentor.
comic, Captain Marvel does have an older mentor.
Well,
Who's
you know,
a
I
pilot, but
think
she
that-
is in her 60s.
Yeah, I think something like that would be better for her, but I just think Emily Blunt, she's just absolutely awesome. She's hot, she looked great in spandex, and you know.
Yeah, no, you're right. I just
think
don't know.
she'd be
I just think they're reaching. I don't know where they're gonna go with that story. You know, it's so many down the line with that because what I was trying to say was she started out as Miss Marvel, then she became Concord or what? Warbird or whatever. Binary. She has so many different identities. It's crazy. So now if you just jump into the present, like she's a military woman. That's all they said was that she's. I don't really care. It's not a character that I thought they should have selected out of the whole Marvel universe.
There's a massive female leadership who are absolutely dedicated to
Yeah, why do you have
Captain
said that about Guardians of the Galaxy though?
I was a major fan of Guardians 3000.
Yeah, but you would
Yeah, you would have
never
thought that they the one to excel.
and do that well.
You go to the Guardians, go to the Guardians, do the Defenders, do
Yeah, do something.
I don't know who James Gunn is.
You know what?
I know he's directed Guardians, but I have no
He
knowledge
did the
of
dancing
it.
for Dancing Blue.
Yeah.
But what do you do for the Guardians?
Let me just say this, that like, coming down there, with Doctor Strange coming, and, the guy at the Incredible Hulk,
Bruce Banner.
yeah, what's his name? Mark Ruffalo,
Yeah.
as Incredible Hulk,
No,
right?
no Incredible Hulk film.
No, I love that, but I would love to see the bringing together
The
the
proper
defenders,
defenders.
the proper defenders,
Go for-
Silver Surfer, because they've already shown that they could do it, and Namor, who was sold to Fox.
Now they've got
But who's Namor? He's with another
He's
company.
with Fox.
Is he with? No, he's not with Fox.
Same with Fox.
Universal. He's with Universal.
Universal.
Yeah.
But Ruffalo, it will be in the defense.
So there is supposed to be
I heard that. I heard he'd be in the Defenders TV
Oh,
series,
God.
but I'm talking about now that they've announced Doctor Strange.
No,
That was one of the major
no,
partnerships was Doctor Strange
You
and
imagine when they
Hulk.
brought the Hulk into the
We didn't talk about that big thing that they brought
Yeah.
out.
Wait. Can you imagine what?
If
There's
they
no way
brought
Hulk,
the Hulk, they brought the Hulk into the
He
Netflix.
just said, yeah, they are going to bring Hulk into the
Years ago I read, yes, he said no Ruffalo Hulk film.
Too much money, I think.
No, it was on
bringing
the
Hulk,
last-
actually.
It's on the last thing, and it's and they just got us hold two or something.
Yeah, but in that case they're oh no,
You guys
no,
got me.
somebody else.
Next time, yeah.
That was in the Mind Slate, wasn't it?
Right.
Don't even know what they were talking
One thing that we've skipped past completely is the DC slate.
We didn't skip it completely.
We did skip that, so let's just quickly go back.
We talked about DC TV.
We
but
talked about the
DC movie slate.
Don't make the cyborg shit.
No. Momoa, what's his name? Jason Momoa, that man.
Wrong.
I don't know.
He's not
He
blonde.
was awesome in Game of Thrones. I
He
buy
was.
him as a king of a brutal
I would.
issue. I buy him.
I
think
would
so.
buy him as Arthur Curry.
Yeah, well,
He's not
right, but he's
blonde.
not blonde. I mean, like, unfortunately, I think the reason why they went with him is because he looks like Vincent from Entourage. When they were gonna do, remember in Entourage, they were
And then
gonna,
also
On the James Cameron Aquaman, wasn't it?
yeah. But in Entourage, they were gonna make an Aquaman movie, and they made a whole series about it with the lead guy. He was dark haired and everything. And so I think they were looking at that from Jason Momoa.
Which is
You know
going
what
to
I mean?
confuse the hell.
But he's
Oh,
a huge guy, and I think he will do well with.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a hook for hands either.
No.
Like, so.
Yeah, but that happened later when he was bitten by a shark. You know what I mean? Again,
It's
what the hell?
strange, because, to be fair, Aquaman is the most. I'm not a big Aquaman fan. I don't necessarily. The fact that he got his hand bitten off by a shark, which is supposed to be a creature you can control.
I think it was like a human shark.
That sounds a bit sadomasochistic.
No, it was a guy named Charybdis, which is supposed to be a rock and hard place, and you know, I bit his hand off.
I can't wait for that scene where he's getting his toes nibbled by the little fishy.
That whole business has been thrown into
I think like Manimal, he turned himself into a fish once, and the next scene he was eating fish in a restaurant.
I can't
I'm like
believe
used
you
to
told
cannibalism.
inconsiderous.
I'm thank you. I just wanted to get Manimal references.
Back to the DC movie slate, Shazam.
Instead of step to Captain Marvel.
Shazam. Well, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. With The Rock as Black Adam, not Shazam. Right? I buy it. Why? Because he's always Black Adam. He never changed back into Ted Adam. So Rock won't have to worry about sharing screen time with some kid or some young man or whatever.
Or indeed that one.
Well, you can always like that. I can be a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, hold on, there's only two modes I've picked up on Black Adam in the latest comic books. There's either angry Black Adam or fighting Black Adam.
Well, there's also
The
Black
Rock
Adam
does
too.
angry and fighting really well, so just let him go. That's why he's not as like Shazam, you know, he's got to play a bit of a kid with the Shazam character. He's got to play that. He's slightly immature, and he's still kind of like.
Yeah, well, no, I think that's a bad choice in the recent retcon of Shazam. I mean, even giving him the whole international, universal family of orphans, it's a bad choice. I mean, I'm not into the whole power of Shazam, but I think they're going to go back to the original where the Billy Batson, gets the power. But he's gonna have his enemy of Black Adam, which I think is just fantastic. So Black Adam came first.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know.
Oh,
well,
Black Adam comes first in the new cinematic version.
No. Technically in the comics, Black Adam came first. Yeah.
It's
Ted Adam. He was Ted Adam.
Egyptian or something like that.
Yeah, he was Ted Adam, and he came.
Yeah, but Black Adam didn't come before Shazam.
Technically, if we wanted to do the string theory, you know, back in the future. No.
Why do you keep saying Back to the Future is string theory? There has never been a string
No,
theory.
it's just because Big Bang Theory does it like the string. Anyway, anyway.
The character of Black Adam did not exist before the character of Shazam, did it?
No.
No. There you go. So that's
All right. Technically, but
That's what
he's
I'm
from 400 years ago.
Yeah.
So he was, you know, in suspended animation. That's what I meant. He came before.
It's like, well,
So they like Solomon, whatever, Solomon, whatever. The wizard who gave Billy Batson the power really gave him the power because Black Adam was coming back.
so what we've got is basically Black Adam is very much like Apocalypse. A character I really give it a shit about. That's the two of them. Age of Apocalypse. Fine. Apocalypse of the X-Men. You know, don't like Adam.
Bring him in. What do you think about them bringing in the Carrie Kelly, kind of like Robin?
Yes.
That's a rumor.
Yeah.
That's a rumor.
It's cast.
It's cast.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Now,
Yellow.
this is my worry about what DC are doing, and this is my with Marvel. What they've done with their movies is they've built up the story work and they've done all this building thing, and they've looked at the origins and tried to figure out what's going to make a great cinematic universe. Now, DC just seems to be cherry picking the best stories that they've got from there and putting that into a film format.
Do you know what would be great to do that?
Yeah,
Well, that's all I'm
that's
really
my
caring
that's my worry with Batman vs Superman. Because one of the greatest relationships I have in the comic books is that Batman Superman one, where Superman is permanently astounded by how sneaky and how smart and how well trained and how well disciplined Batman is. And Batman is always completely dwarfed by Superman, and it's that relationship where Superman will run into something and Batman will stay back and plan. And I love that. And
Tower of Babel.
yeah,
Grant Morrison,
so
Tower of
I
Babel.
think the best thing that they could have done with this movie is just remake the Batman Superman animated movie. And that
Well,
is
why
that,
remake it if it's already out there?
well, because it would look so much better cinematic. I'm worried about that. And I love The Dark Knight. I think it's a definitive Batman book. But
It's too soon to do it.
it's too soon to do it.
Yeah, but the Kerry, the Robin girl is a way of doing it. Is the older Batman with the, Ben Affleck. And actually, if you think about it, I think that this whole Dawn of Justice, I'm glad they decided to say it's not Man of Steel 2. But the whole Dawn of Justice thing is a way of saying, look, we got all these new seats, all these new powers coming up, and now this alien, and all that kind of stuff. And Batman's thinking, what am I going to do here? And now you got this girl where his boys are probably grown up and, whatever happened to them. So we're getting a great backstory. We're getting, what I'm trying to say, we're getting a future origin as opposed to a past origin, which I love that idea. And then they decide, you know what, we need to bring all these guys together. And then, you know what, Bruce, you can't do it the way you want to do it. Well, Boy Scout, you can't do it the way you want to do it. And that's the fight.
And
I love it. Water my
But this is the other thing. This is the thing about it. You're right. That would be brilliant. But which
Dark Knight is an ending.
Yeah, Dark Knight is an ending. And the reason Dark Knight plays off so well is there's that moment where Superman is storming into the alley and just Batman's just covered everything. He's fighting rockets. He's doing everything to dull his senses because he knows Superman coming out. He knows he's going to go in that direction. He knows
entire life and they're the same age.
Yeah, and this is. And they're not, if they just kind of skip past that knowing thing, it is going to be like, Batman's going to seem like the bully, because Batman will be so well prepared.
The man with no power versus the man with all power.
It's like
that would be great.
But Batman, in Dark Knight, Batman and Superman are the same age, they've known each other their entire lives, and Bruce Wayne at that time to prepare for anything that could go wrong with Clark. I know who has Clark This Batman is 20 years older than this Superman and doesn't know Clark at all.
Yeah, he doesn't
There's
know
no
the
personal
personality.
relationship. And Dark Knight Red, because the personal relationship has been built up for so long.
Yeah.
And Batman's discussing the big boy.
Yeah.
But like you just said, I mean, it's not. I mean, I haven't really been reading the Superman Batman comics, you know, and everything, you know.
Gave up reading Superman's terrible.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So, you know, but I just think that, you know, this will be an excellent, you know, and Dawn of Justice, I'm totally looking forward to. But I think that's the problem with the slate, in talking about the slate.
When the trailer comes up for Superman, Batman vs Superman, I am going to be as giddy as anything. I will have filled the cup. I will have filled up Lisa's cup. But it's just, look, I have friends. It's just that they don't watch comic book movies or anything, so I can't talk.
We're not real friends, James.
I'm still talking to him every day. But it's just, Mike, I'm being giddy as anything when I see the trailer, and I'll go in there, I'll pay my overpriced popcorn, and I'll pay for my overpriced drink, and I will sit there and giddy, and I'll come out thinking it was the best film in the world.
Yeah.
And then
So at least 10 minutes.
and I hope that I come back the following day and watch it again. As I come back the following day and still find enjoyment in it, I'm worried in case they just mess it up by doing
A Dark Knight Rises.
Doing a Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so in closing it out.
Do you know what I found out in the last
Right,
hour?
close it.
I don't like comics.
Do you mean comic books or comedians?
I've obviously been kidding myself all the time because all I've said is no, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that. They're shit, they're
But no, that's because you're one of those eclectic people who like what you like and think everything else is shite.
Yeah.
You know, but
I don't understand.
I know people
I
like
don't understand.
I like
it doesn't
everything.
feel that way.
yeah, whatever. Anyway, so like it's really good. It's really good anyway for the guys to come back together again, and I think we really did cover the whole bar of DC television, Marvel movie slate, and our interpretations and our hopes and wishes for the future. Main thing as we see that the DC universe actually depends a lot on Batman versus Superman. And the Marvel universe will thrive even if Spider-Man doesn't show up. But you know, hopefully that does happen. We do know it's in the plan.
And I'd just like to say that when the world needs us, we will get back together again. I'll always be here.
Oh, quite definitely cut.
I was having a laugh.
So who's up
I got the whole series.
that series was
Next time I'll have a bit more.
Hey guys, can you help me get this stuff out of here?